My name is Haley, I'm 27, and I have a little girl named Mia who just turned 5. That morning started like every other hard morning for the past year. I woke up to my phone blowing up with messages from the landlord. Red letters. Final notice. Rent was 2 months late, and I had exactly $4.37 in my bank account. $4. That's all that stood between us and the street. I put on the same old hoodie I wear every day because it hides the fact that I lost too much weight from skipping meals so Mia could eat. I brushed Mia's curly hair, tied it with the last clean rubber band, and told her, "Today is going to be a good day, baby." Elite. I always lie when I say that. Mia looked up at me with those big brown eyes and said, "Mommy, my tummy is making sad noises." My heart cracked right there in the tiny kitchen. She hadn't eaten since the night before when I gave her the last slice of bread with a little peanut butter scraped from the bottom of the jar. I promised her we would get something warm after I picked up my paycheck. Another lie. My boss had already texted me. "Hours cut again. No check today." We got in my old car that smells like spilled juice and French fries. It coughed and started on the third try. I drove with the heat off because gas was almost on E. Mia fell asleep against the window, her little mouth open, cheeks red from the cold. I almost started crying right there on the highway, but I didn't want her to wake up and see tears again. Then I saw the cafe. You know, the one on Maple Street with the big windows and the yellow lights? It always smells like coffee and cinnamon rolls. I used to take Mia there on Sundays when life was easier, when her dad was still around, before he disappeared with his new girlfriend and left us with nothing. I hadn't been inside in over a year because even a kid's hot chocolate costs money I don't have. But that day the smell hit me when I rolled the window down at the light. My stomach growled so loud Mia woke up. She pressed her face to the glass and whispered, "Mommy, can we go in? It smells like happy." I looked at my phone. 4:17 p.m. Too early for dinner, too late for lunch. The parking lot was packed. I almost kept driving, but Mia started crying soft little tears and I couldn't take it anymore. I parked far away so nobody would see the expired tags. I took Mia's cold hand and we walked across the icy lot. Every step felt heavy, like I was walking to my own funeral. I kept telling myself, just go in, warm up for 10 minutes, use the bathroom, leave. That's all. We pushed open the door and the little bell rang. The warmth hit us like a hug. The place was slammed. Every single table full. Families laughing, couples on dates, old men reading newspapers, teenagers taking selfies. The noise was so loud after the quiet car ride. Mia squeezed my hand tighter. I stood there by the door like an idiot holding Mia, looking for one empty chair. Nothing. Not one. People glanced at us and looked away fast. I felt my face getting hot. I wanted to disappear. Then I saw him. One man sitting alone at a 4-person table right in the middle. Big plate of food in front of him. Burger, mountains of fries, a milkshake with whipped cream. He looked maybe 50, salt and pepper hair. Expensive coat folded neatly on the chair beside him. He was eating slowly, staring out the window like he was a million miles away. My legs started shaking. I knew what I had to do, but my whole body was screaming no. Single moms don't ask strangers for help. We smile, we say we're fine, we hide in our cars and cry. But Mia leaned against me and whispered so quiet only I could hear, "Mommy, I'm dizzy." That was it. Something inside me snapped. I would rather die than let my baby feel dizzy from hunger one more minute. I walked straight to his table. People started watching. The talking got quieter. I could feel every eye on my back. My voice came out smaller than I wanted. "Excuse me, sir." He looked up slow. Gray eyes. Tired face. I swallowed the biggest lump in my throat and said, "My daughter hasn't eaten all day. There are no empty tables, please, can we share yours? Just for a few minutes. I promise we'll be quiet." The whole cafe went dead silent. You could hear the coffee machine hissing. Mia hid behind my leg, peeking out with those big eyes. I waited for him to say no. I waited for him to look away or call the manager or tell me to leave his table alone. 10 seconds. Felt like 10 years. He didn't smile. He didn't stand up. He just looked at me, then down at Mia, then back at me. And he said one word. Seat. Cold. Flat. Like he was ordering coffee. I stood there frozen. Did he really just say yes? He pushed the chair out with his foot. The screech on the floor was the only sound in the whole place. I picked Mia up and sat her down so fast I almost dropped her. My hands were shaking like crazy. I sat next to her trying to make myself small. He went back to eating like nothing happened. But then, he did something I will never forget as long as I live. He pushed the giant plate of fries right in front of Mia and said, "Eat." Just like that. Mia looked at me with huge eyes waiting for permission. I couldn't even speak. I just nodded. She grabbed one fry with her tiny fingers and put it in her mouth. The face she made. Oh my God.
Pure även.
She smiled with ketchup already on her cheek. I wanted to cry right there in front of everyone. That's when the man looked straight at me, wiped his mouth with a napkin, and asked the question that turned my whole world upside down. "Haley, how much do you owe in rent right now?" I swear my heart stopped beating. How did this stranger know my name? And the one thing that keeps me awake every single night. I was sitting there watching Mia eat his fries like they were gold. Ketchup all over her little face, smiling for the first time in days. And this man, this stranger just looked at me and said my name. "Haley, how much do you owe in rent right now?" My mouth went dry. I felt the whole cafe staring again. How did he know my name? How did he know about the rent? I never told him. I never told anyone in that room. I laughed. "You know that nervous laugh we do when we're scared?" I said. "I'm sorry, do I know you?" He didn't answer. He just took a slow bite of his burger, chewed, and kept those gray eyes on me. Then he said, 2 months behind. Almost 3. Right. My whole body went ice cold. I felt dizzy. I grabbed the edge of the table so I wouldn't fall off the chair. I whispered, How do you know that?" He finally put his fork down. He leaned a little closer so only I could hear. "Because 6 years ago, I was the one sitting where you are now. Hungry kid. Empty wallet. Landlord texting every day. One stranger shared their table with me and changed everything." I just stared at him. Tears started burning my eyes. I didn't want to cry in front of Mia, but they came anyway. He looked at Mia, who was still eating fries like tomorrow didn't exist, and his voice got softer. "Pretty girl. What's her name?" "Mia," I said, voice cracking. He nodded slow. Then he waved the waitress over. "Bring the kids chicken nuggets meal. Extra fries. Chocolate milk. And a hot chocolate with extra whipped cream for mom."
I'm paying.
I opened my mouth to say no, we can't. I don't take charity, but the words wouldn't come out. The waitress smiled big and said, "Coming right up, Mr. David." Mr. David. That's when I saw the name on his credit card when he passed it to her. David Brooks. He went back to eating like he didn't just order food I could never afford. Mia looked up at him with those big eyes and said, "Thank you, mister." He actually smiled for the first time. Tiny one. "You're welcome, Mia." The food came fast. Mia attacked the nuggets like a little animal. I just sat there holding the warm hot chocolate, trying not to cry into it. Then David took something out of his coat pocket. A business card. Thick. Expensive. Gold letters. He slid it across the table to me. David Brooks Kindness Fund. There was a phone number and an address downtown. He said, "Call me Monday morning. 9 o'clock. I might have a job for you. Good pay. Benefits. Close to Mia's school." I couldn't even speak. I just nodded like an idiot. We finished eating. Mia was full and happy, rubbing her eyes because the food made her sleepy. I stood up holding Mia's hand. I said, "Thank you. I don't know how to repay you." He looked at me one last time and said, "Just help someone else one day. That's how you repay me." We walked toward the door. I was still shaking, holding that business card like it was made of gold. Then the waitress came running after us, almost crying. "Ma'am, wait. Mr. David, he just paid something else." I turned around. She was holding a piece of paper, tears in her eyes. "He paid your rent. 6 whole months. He asked me your address when you were in the bathroom with Mia. And he paid it right now. It's done." My legs gave out. I sat down right there on the floor of the cafe, holding Mia, crying like a baby. People were staring, but I didn't care. 6 months. 6 months without that fear. I looked back at the table, but David was gone. His coat was still on the chair, but he wasn't there. The waitress said, "He does that sometimes. Pays and disappears."
You get me so tight.
She didn't understand, but she hugged me back. "Sisters, I thought that was the end of the miracle. I was so wrong. Monday morning I called that number with shaking hands, and a woman answered with the sentence that broke me all over again.
I'm sorry.
Mr. David Brooks passed away 2 years ago. That Monday morning I didn't sleep at all. I sat on the kitchen floor with the phone in my hand, staring at that gold business card. Mia was still sleeping, her little belly full for the first time in weeks. I kept reading the name over and over. David Brooks Kindness Fund. I told myself maybe the waitress got it wrong. Maybe he just likes to joke. Maybe rich people say crazy things. At exactly 8:59 a.m., I pressed call. It rang twice. A soft woman's voice answered. Brooks Kindness Fund, how may I help you? My voice was shaking so bad I could barely speak. Hi, my name is Haley. Mr. David Brooks told me to call this morning. He said maybe a job. Silence. Then I heard her take a deep breath. Haley, can you tell me where you met Mr. Brooks? I told her everything. The cafe, the fries, Mia, the rent, the business card. Another long silence. Then she started crying. Quiet crying like she was trying to hide it. Haley, I'm so sorry to tell you this. Mr. David Brooks, our founder, he passed away 2 years ago. Cancer. 2023. My phone slipped from my hand and hit the floor. I thought my heart actually stopped. I picked it back up with shaking fingers. That's impossible, I whispered. I sat with him Saturday. He bought my daughter food. He paid my rent. He gave me this card. She was crying harder now. Haley, please come to the office today. Bring your little girl if you want. We need to talk in person. I promise we will explain everything. I hung up and just sat there on the floor staring at nothing. Mia walked in rubbing her eyes. Mommy, why are you crying again? I hugged her so tight I think I scared her. That afternoon I put Mia in her best little dress, the one with the tiny flowers, and we drove downtown. The building was huge, glass and shiny. A big sign, Brooks Kindness Fund. The lady from the phone met us at the door. Her name was Mrs. Clara. She knelt down to Mia and said, Hi sweet girl, want a cookie? Mia smiled and took it. First time a stranger gave her something without me begging. Mrs. Clara took us to a quiet room with soft chairs and pictures on the wall. And there, right in the middle, was a giant photo. It was him. Same gray eyes. Same tired smile. Same salt and pepper hair. David Brooks. Born 1973. Died 2023. I started crying again. Couldn't stop. Mrs. Clara held my hand. Haley. Every single month since David died, our team does something special. We call it the Angel Table. She opened a big book full of photos. Every photo showed a different cafe, and the same man sitting alone. But it wasn't the same man. It was different employees, all dressed exactly like David. Same coat, same hairstyle, even the same watch. Mrs. Clara said, David's last wish was simple. He said, when I was broken, one stranger shared a table and gave me hope. I want to keep sharing tables forever. So every month we pick struggling families, single moms, single dads, anyone who looks lost. One of our team sits in a cafe dressed as David. If the person is brave enough to ask, can we share your table? They win the Angel Table. Rent paid. Bills paid. Sometimes a job here at the fund. We've helped over 200 families so far. And we never tell them David is gone until they call. I couldn't breathe. The man who saved us wasn't even alive. Mrs. Clara opened an envelope and slid it to me. David left money for 1 full year of rent for you. Already paid. And we have a job for you, Haley. Reception and helping other moms. Good pay. Health insurance for you and Mia. Start next week if you want. Mia was eating her second cookie, swinging her legs, not understanding. I looked at David's photo on the wall and said the only thing I could say. Thank you, Mr. David, wherever you are. 1 year later. I went back to that same cafe exactly 1 year passed. 365 days since that cold Saturday when a dead man saved us. Life was so different now. We moved into a real apartment. 2 bedrooms. Heat that actually works. Mia started kindergarten wearing new shoes that light up when she runs. I had a job I loved at the Brooks Kindness Fund. I sat at the front desk and welcomed other single moms who walked in scared, just like I once was. Every day I looked at David's big photo on the wall and whispered, "Thank you, But something inside me wouldn't let go. I needed to go back to that cafe on Maple Street. I needed to sit at the same table and say thank you out loud. So on the 1-year anniversary Saturday morning, I put Mia in her pretty pink coat and we drove there. The little bell rang when we opened the door. Same smell. Same yellow lights. It was busy again but not packed like that day. I looked around, and my heart stopped. There he was. Same table. Same coat folded on the chair. Same salt and pepper hair. Same lonely plate of burger and fries. David. Sitting exactly like before. Mia saw him too and screamed, "Mommy! It's the nice mister from heaven." She ran before I could stop her. I ran after her, tears already coming. When we got close I saw it wasn't David. It was a young man, maybe 30, wearing the same clothes, same hairstyle, same watch. He looked up and smiled soft. Mia yele. I stood there frozen. He pushed the chair out with his foot just like David did. "Please sit. I've been waiting for you." Mia climbed up happy. She wasn't scared at all. I sat down slow, shaking. The young man said, "My name is Ryan. I work for the fund. Today is my first day doing the angel table." Then he opened a little box on the table. Inside was a gold necklace with a tiny table charm. He said, "Every year on the anniversary we find the family from exactly 1 year ago. And we bring them back. David wrote in his will, 'Tell them the table is still open. Tell them the kindness never dies.'" Ryan put the necklace around Mia's neck. She touched it and looked at me with the biggest smile. Then Ryan took out an envelope and slid it to me. Inside was a check. Not for rent this time. It was for $10,000 and a note in David's handwriting. They showed me the original later. The note said, "Haley and Mia, year 1 was my gift. Year 2 is yours to give away. Find another hungry little girl and share the table. That's how I live forever. David." I cried so hard the whole cafe was looking again. Mia hugged Ryan and said loud, "Tell Mr. David we miss him and we love him." Ryan's eyes got wet too. He said, "I will, sweet girl. Every day." We ate fries together, Ryan paid of course, and Mia kept touching her little table necklace. When we left I looked back one more time. Ryan waved, sitting alone at the table, waiting for the next brave mom who would walk in scared and ask the question that changes everything. Sisters. I still wear that necklace every single day. And every month I save a little money because one day very soon, Mia and I are going to walk into a cafe, sit alone and wait. Because the angel table is still open. And now it's our turn to keep it open. We became the angel table sisters. 3 months after that anniversary day, Mia and I were ready. We had the $10,000 check from David. We never touched 1 penny for ourselves. Every dollar was waiting for another mom who felt like I felt that cold Saturday. We picked a Saturday in March. Rainy. Cold. Perfect. I put on a simple black coat and a gray scarf, nothing fancy, just warm. I made my hair look a little gray at the sides with baby powder. I even wore a men's watch I bought at the thrift store. Mia giggled when she saw me. "Mommy, you look like Mr. David." I laughed and cried at the same time. We chose a different cafe this time. A small one near the bus station, where a lot of tired moms pass with kids. I walked in alone first. Ordered a burger, fries, and a chocolate milkshake. Took the biggest table in the middle. Sat by myself. Looked out the window exactly like David did. Mia waited in the car with my best friend who was filming everything on her phone from outside. So we would have the memory forever. I sat there for 45 minutes. People came and went. Nobody asked to share. My heart started to hurt. What if nobody needs it today? Then the door opened and wind blew in. A young mom walked in holding a little boy, maybe 3 years old. His shoes had holes. Her eyes were red from crying. She stood by the door looking for a seat. Every table was full except mine. She looked at me, looked away, looked back again. I kept my face serious just like David did. She took the deepest breath I ever saw someone take, walked over and said in the tiniest voice, "Excuse me, sir, my son is really hungry. There are no tables, can we please share yours?" My eyes filled with tears, but I didn't let them fall yet. I looked at her the same way David looked at me. 10 seconds. Then I said the word that once saved my life. "Seat." She almost cried right there. They sat down. The little boy stared at my fries exactly like Mia did. I pushed the whole plate to him. "Eat, buddy." The mom tried to say no, but he already grabbed one and smiled so big. I asked her name. Kayla. Single mom. Lost her job 2 weeks ago. About to lose their apartment. I paid for a full kids' meal and a big hot chocolate for her. When the food came, I took out a plain white envelope and slid it across the table. Inside. 1 year of rent already paid to her landlord. I called him the night before. A grocery gift card for $2,000. A starting job letter at a daycare near her house. My boss at the fund helped arrange it. And the rest of the money in cash so she could breathe. Kayla opened it. Read it. Looked at me and started crying so hard she couldn't speak. Her little boy hugged her and said, "Mommy, why happy tears?" I stood up to leave same way David did. Before I walked out, I leaned down and whispered to her, "One day when you're strong again, come sit at a table alone and wait. The angel table never closes." I put my coat on and walked to the door. Kayla called after me, "Wait. Sir, what's your name?" I turned, smiled soft and said, "Call me David." I stepped outside into the rain. Mia ran to me from the car, jumping up and down. "Mommy, you did it. You really did it." We hugged in the rain, both crying. That night Mia fell asleep holding her little table necklace. I sat on the couch looking at David's photo I keep on our shelf. I whispered, "Mr. David, we kept the table open today. Your kindness is still walking around in the world." That was not the last time. Every few months now, Mia and I pick a new cafe, a new city, a new Saturday. I put on the coat. I wait. And every single time, another mom finds the courage to ask. Every single time. Another little boy or girl eats fries and smiles. Every single time. David lives again. 2 years have passed since that rainy Saturday when I first became David. Mia's 7 now. Tall, smart, still wears that little gold table necklace every single day. She never takes it off, even in the bath. One morning she woke up and climbed into my bed. "Mommy," she said, "I'm big enough now. I want to be the angel table today. But I want to do it my way." My heart stopped. She was only 7. I told her it's a big job, people might not understand, she's still little. She looked at me with those same brown eyes that once looked dizzy from hunger and said, "Mommy, Mr. David started helping when he was broke and scared. I'm not scared. I have you. I have food. I have love. It's my turn." Cried right there. How do you say no to that? So we planned the most beautiful day. We picked the very first cafe, the one on Maple Street where everything started for us. Same yellow lights. Same bell on the door. This time Mia dressed up. She wore her prettiest pink dress, white coat, and she made a tiny sign with crayons. "Free table for any mommy and kid who are hungry today. Love, Mia and Mr. David." She carried a little basket with 20 homemade chocolate chip cookies she baked with me the night before. I waited in the car, filming from the window like my friend once did for me. Mia walked in alone, dragging a chair to the exact same 4-person table in the middle. She climbed up, put the basket and the sign in the center, and sat there like a tiny queen. People smiled. Some took photos. Most thought it was just a cute kid playing. Then the door opened. A mom walked in with twin babies in a stroller and a toddler holding her hand. You could see the tiredness in her eyes from a mile away. Her coat was too thin, shoes wet from the snow outside. She saw every table full. Then she saw Mia's sign. She read it. Her lips started shaking. She walked slowly to Mia's table. Mia stood up on her chair so she was tall enough and said in her clear little voice, "Hi. My name is Mia. This table is free today for any mommy who needs it. Would you and your kids like to sit with me?" The mom covered her mouth and started crying right there. She nodded yes. Mia pulled out chairs for all 3 kids like she had practiced 100 times. She gave each child a warm cookie first. Then she waved the waitress over and said loud and proud, "Can we please have 3 kids' meals, chicken nuggets, fries, and chocolate milk? And a big hot coffee with cream for the mommy?"
I'm paying.
She opened her tiny unicorn purse and took out money she had saved from birthdays and Tooth Fairy, plus everything I quietly added. The whole cafe went quiet, same way it did for me years ago. The mom sat down, crying happy tears, hugging her toddler. Mia sat with them, talking like a grown-up. She told them about Mr. David in heaven. She told them the table is never closed. She told them one day when they are strong they can keep it open too. When the food came, the twins laughed and made a mess. And the mom finally smiled. Before they left, Mia took off her own gold table necklace, the one Ryan gave her on the anniversary, and put it around the mom's neck. She said, "This is from Mr. David. Now you carry the table with you always." The mom hugged Mia so tight I thought they would never let go. Then she looked straight at my car window, even though she couldn't see me, and mouthed thank you. I was crying so hard the camera was shaking. That day the video went everywhere. Millions of views. People all over the world started doing the same thing, little kids, big kids, single moms, grandmas putting up signs. Free table today. David's kindness exploded like wildfire. And my little Mia? She started something bigger than both of us. Sisters, if you are watching this and today feels heavy, please remember one thing: the table is still open. It lives in me. It lives in Mia. It lives in every one of you. Never be ashamed to ask for a seat. And when you get strong again, never forget to save one. I love you. I'm proud of you. You are never ever alone. Type in the comments right now, "I will keep the table open." Because Mr. David is smiling down right now. And the angel table will never close.